So let's get started, Aaron. I got a few things to
But
cover.
before we start, we were
Yeah,
talking about briefly, like we talked about Jim. We were just talking about Jim Faust before the
yeah.
episode started. Not sure, maybe you guys know Jim Faust, but Jim Faust used to own Sunshine Rafting. He mainly ran on the Stan, right? He ran on the Stanislaus. I think he ran the Goodwin Canyon, and then
Yep.
before that, in the late '80s, early '90s, when New Melones got low, they were running trips up there consistently too, up on
Oh,
the
the
Camp
Camp 9
Nine run,
run. Yeah.
which everyone I talked to ran even back then said it was a hoot. But he passed away, I think September 8th, I want to say, and so
Wow.
I think they're going to do something for him down in Goodwin Canyon coming up here
Yeah.
sometime soon. But you worked for him, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I remember, like, he was known to be a little bit cowboy. And if I remember correctly, I remember you coming back up to the Tuolumne talking about how you got to drive the bus with the guests in it. Was that right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
You just say
mean,
you just like, hey, can I try driving? And he's like, sure.
I could tell a lot of Jim Faust stories now that he can't get sued or in trouble for them.
Yeah, he's gone.
But he's a great guy. Because when I started on Tuolumne, you couldn't have enough days to get a whole season.
Yeah.
We were doing like two days a week, maybe. And so, like, no Tuolumne guide could make it. Right now, you're just lapping day trips and making, getting tons of work. But back then, you'd have to find almost a second job to work the T. And I would go down and work for Jim on the Goodwin Canyon section of Stanislaus. This is a really dangerous section of river. But it was work. And he would the trips I worked would be German tourists on these little bus rides, and they get dropped off, and they didn't speak English, and so you would give the city talk to the guide, who would then give it to the tourists, and then I'm pretty sure they just paid him cash under the table, and then I just got paid cash, right, at the end of the day. So I think it was like a kind of a like behind the scenes thing happening. And it's not, I would not recommend commercially doing this section to anyone. There's, like two portages, like several places people have died. There's a rapid called Air Mattress because somebody ran in an air mattress and died. It's not the safest section, but he let me do anything. And so he had this really cool bus painted like I think it's rainbow colored. And I'm like, oh, I want to drive that thing. He's like, cool, drive it. And let me drive it to put in, take out. I had no business driving a bus. I'm actually a good driver.
Yeah, but you're just some random like 20-something-year-old kid who's like never driven a
Yeah.
bus. Yeah, sure. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, whatever, man. Yeah, go for it. Do it.
But
Yeah.
that river was way more dangerous than
Bus
than
ride.
the bus. I mean, those rapids are full on, and like not super hard. I mean, they're hard. They're class 4, but like dangerous. Like when I think about rapids, some rapids are really difficult, but if you swim, it's not a big deal. I like Cherry Creek is kind of like that. As class 5 goes, if I'm going to swim somewhere in class 5, Cherry Creek I would want to swim. Other rivers are like class 3 and 4, but a lot of sieves and nasty stuff where you wouldn't want to swim. And Goodwin Canyon is somewhere you don't really want to swim. Lots of weird undercut rocks and caves, and at one point, I guess it's called Iron Box. There's just an iron box in the river that's it's an entrapment.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
that, Aaron? There's just like
Yeah,
an
yeah,
iron
totally.
box stuck in the river.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, a lot of
I actually really like that section. I've run it a lot over the years, and I think it's a really fun, cool little canyon. It is. You got to have skills to go in there, though. I'd say it's because you're going to be lining something most times. It's there's some mess up stuff in there. You got to be conservative, but it's fun.
commercially. We always line Matterhorn. You have to run. So all the rapids are named after Disneyland rides, or most of them except like Air Mattress. They're either named after Disneyland rides or somebody died basically. And the first one was called Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Is that right? Is that right? Or
Yeah, Mr. Toads.
yeah, Mr. Toad's. And I mean, I don't know if I ever figured that one out. You just kind of like did the best you could and hoped you didn't flip. And so you couldn't.
And don't end up with that chompy little room of doom on the bottom right. There's like certain flows. There's that like undercut little corner that your whole boat could go in.
You just avoid your whole goal is to avoid that. We should find some video of it. And then Matterhorn, you would line every time. And then Haunted House was like some flows you ran it, sometimes you portaged it. But Haunted Houses, I've swam that. I had a really bad swim there once.
But everyone's had bad swims at Haunted House. You work that river, you have bad swims at Haunted House. It doesn't look that bad, but the swims are awful.
We did video review of this once. I mean, this is a video review show, which I bring up some video. Stanislaus. Let's see if I can find some video of. Oh, here we go. Carnage or Haunted House. I think we did video review of this section once. Let me find this. I mean, I just videoed this, or I just Googled it really quick. That's the rapid. It's just so unpredictable when you go in there.
Oh, it's a mean feature. And then below it, downstream on the left, there's like a nasty feature there that's not that big, but it's retentive.
It's an unpleasant place to be swimming. Let me make this bigger. And so all the safety they have. Oh, kayak carnage. I'm used to seeing raft carnage. I think were you with me the first time we ran this, Aaron? I was kayaking and a few people were like Dan and Faye were rafting.
No, I wasn't.
But anyway, I kayaked, did fine. Then walked back up and got the raft and we flipped and took a really nasty swim. Looks good so far.
Oh, what are you going? What was your plan there? Ow.
Oh man. Ouch. That hurts. Let's see, what else do we got for here's Goodwin Canyon video. This looks like, is this all outdoors? It looks produced. Yeah, this is where you launch in this overgrown section.
That's early spring or late in the fall. Yeah.
And this is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. It's just kind of chunky.
Oh God, yeah. It's mean. I mean,
you just kind of enter and it's chunky. And you got to avoid that. Your goal is to avoid that wall there on the right. Let's see how they do. You know, a guide died here. At least one. There's that wall. Boom. Yeah, they did fine.
It's nice to have a light boat.
Yeah. Did a lot of 6 loads. I did a trip here once where it was a 6 load of people and a 12-footer, big guys, and the floor was underwater. This is working for Jim. Like the raft floor was covered in water. The boat was so heavy. Yeah, I don't think this doesn't look fun to me for some reason.
It's actually in a kayak. It's not bad.
Here they are. Where are they now? Why is there no people in this? Oh, they're ghost boating Matterhorn. Yeah. There's definitely a line here. I don't know. It definitely goes. It just nerve-wracking. Oh, here's a kayaker doing it.
I got some photos on my site of people running Matterhorn.
I never have. Even when I did it privately. I've always been a little nervous about it. And there's just a bunch of fun rapids like this. Let's see how they do in Haunted House. Middle and lower. I don't remember any of these rapids.
They're lining Haunted House.
Yeah, we did. I'd say we lined at 50% of the time. Some flows is good. Some flows is horrendous. Anyway. Well, Jim, thanks for
I think he got a lot of people in the water, and there's a lot of guides came through and worked for him. You know, a lot of people got to work for him. So
yeah. You just be like, hey Jim, I need some work. You're like, yeah, come on Tuesday. It's pretty easy.